What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. And in today's video we are here with another tier list, and I'm going to be discussing the best and worst grapplers in the UFC. We just had Sean Brady win via dominant performance, impressive fight with a submission in the 4th round, really asserting himself as one of the best grapplers in the UFC in my opinion. So yeah, I thought it would be appropriate. And on the other side we had Leon Edwards, who looked awful. So I thought it would be appropriate to discuss some of the best and worst grapplers in the UFC. We've got 6 tiers ranging from obviously top 5. We got elite grappler, great grappler, we got good grappler with some flaws. We got takedown spammer, slash the sort of those wrestling heavy guys that don't really get any control, like the guys who just like clinch against the fence a lot. And then down the bottom tier we got ragdoll for fighters who just really, they might be okay at grappling in some aspects, but once they're down they really struggle to look good off their back. So yeah, that's what we're going to be talking about in today's video. Like, subscribe, leave a comment and all that. I hope you let me know who I missed, or let me know which placements you disagree with. And yeah, let's get started. And we're going to start off in the bottom tier. Oi bro, shut the fuck up bro. Leon Edwards, I'm sorry bro, it's kind of it's raps for you. Look, is Leon actually that bad at grappling? No. It is mostly like when he's lost to Bilal and Brady, I should say, have had very, very impressive performances when they both beat Leon Edwards. So I am over exaggerating this. I know there's going to be some people being like, bro, there's no way you're saying Leon Edwards is as bad of a grappler as this person. I'm not, but it's just the range of obviously I can't make 12 different fucking tiers. Yeah, if we're actually doing a tier list of every fighter in the sport, Leon Edwards is in the top half of that tier list. There's so many shit grapplers outside the rankings, but I'm trying to talk about relevant fighters, we're not talking about some unranked bums who are like, oh yeah, well obviously they go below. In comparison, in terms of being an elite fighter, and being a former champion, Leon's grappling is actually fucking atrocious, to be honest. Look, at times he's looked good, and honestly, I do think it is a credit to how good Brady and Bilal have performed against him, especially Brady. Because, who does that? Joe Rogan, who does that to Leon Edwards? People forget, man. Leon was... No one's done that to Leon. Who ragdolls Leon like that? Leon that was the first person to ever finish Leon Edwards. So, incredibly impressive performance from Brady. But yeah, Leon is just always a guy who looks, dominatable on the ground. Anytime someone actually tries to pressure him effectively and shoot, they succeed. When... Colby was failing some takedowns when he was shooting on the back foot in a fight where he was just looking awful. Usman in the trilogy was failing a few takedowns when again he was more hesitant. But if you just go forward and impose your will on Leon, it is pretty easy to just ragdoll this guy. Anyway, though, let's move up to the next tier, and we got Mario Bautista. Enough said. Honestly, it's just Bautista, takedown spammer. Literal just control, clinch control merchant. Nothing doing there. We're about to see him fight Cheeto Vera, who I don't rate highly at all in the grappling, so I'm probably going to pick him to beat Cheeto, to be honest. But still, this dude's grappling is just not that high level. Anyway, let's move on. Brendan Allen is another guy that I've got. Now, Allen in round 1 is very good, and it's difficult to sort of differentiate, because if you're going based off round 1 at their best, who's the best grappler, Allen's up there. He beat Anthony Hernandez in round 1. He beat Nasruddin Imavov in round 1. Those are impressive performances. He subbed Paul Craig. Maybe I'm not ranking him high enough, but I just can't ignore the fact that in the 2nd and 3rd against other guys, this guy just falls apart. He also got out grappled by Baralio in a grappling match. Again, is that 100% serious? Probably not. But still, I just see this dude, when he imposes his will, he has success, but he is also able... and susceptible, I should say, to being out-grappled himself. Fluffy took him down, pushed the pace on him in the 2nd and 3rd, and Mavov was dominating him in round 2 on the ground. Even Paul Craig had some moments. When you try and impose your will... Anthony Hernandez... Brendan Allen, if you're grappling with him, the fight goes one of two ways. Either you let him impose his will early, and he kind of gets off to a good start, and he looks really good, or you just say, nah, fuck you. And you can and he makes bad decisions in the grappling, so I just can't put him too much higher, to be honest. Anyway, let's move on to the next fighter. Next up, we got Rainier Derrida. I'm gonna put him in great grappler. I think Derrida is really good, and I think he's gonna prove it against Bo Nickel. I'm gonna pick him to win that fight. look, maybe that fight just ends up being a range kickboxing fight and he loses because his striking's awful, but I rate his grappling. Look, yes, I know Holland has been done badly by other grapplers, but like, he doesn't usually go out there and get subbed immediately. Like, Delizzi got him down, beat him up, and then Holland injured himself, so that got stopped in the first. Hamzat subbed him in the first, but like, most of these middleweights who out-grapple him are like Brunson and Vittori and shit, who like take him down and just like beat him up on the ground, hold him there. Not many people just get him out of there that quickly. RDR didn't even struggle. Like, he just forgot to struggle with Kevin Holland. He immediately just tipped him over. And Holland, unlike with like the Gunnar Nelson fight or even the Hamzat fight, where I'm not saying RDR is a better grappler than Hamzat, but like, his control is impressive, because Holland was even able to like ground with Hamzat, kind of cause some problems for him. Like a bit, not many, like he still got subbed in the first, but like, he actually made him work for the position. With his RDR, he kind of, again, was Holland at his best against RDR? Maybe not. We've kind of seen at middleweight, he's just not very good. But RDR just took him down, took his back, and just subbed him. And it was just easy. Like, I don't know, it was just, like, people, that fight has gone under the radar, I feel like. Everyone's just remembering he looked goofy against GM3. GM3 just makes everyone look goofy, but I do really believe that this guy's grappling is good. Wrestling needs some work, but again, he looked okay against Holland, and if he can get like good takedowns going against... Look, that's my worry of like, is he going to be able to take down Bo Nickel? Like, if Bo Nickel shoots on him, I think RDR can win. Like, I think RDR can reverse, but like, is his wrestling that good? Because his jiu-jitsu seems pretty good. Once he's on the ground with you, he looks great, but I don't know, it will be interesting to see. Anyway, let's move on to the next guy, Anthony Hernandez. I think he's very good. Now look, did he look a little bit mid against Brendan Allen in the first? And like, does his grappling take a while to get going? Yes. So maybe this is more of a case of him just being just having good cardio, so I can't rate the grappling as highly. But I still think this dude's grappling's phenomenal. I still think like his pressure, and I do think you still have to consider pressure and pace as like a part of grappling. Because he does get control time, he does take people down, he does beat them up, he does threaten subs. Allen's a great grappler, and he ragdolled him in the second and third, like, pretty much. Allen had moments, but Allen's way more physical than him. Allen's a way bigger dude, but Hernandez was still able to win that fight. So yeah, I feel pretty good about having him on the higher end. Look, some people will disagree with him being this high. Some people will say, oh, he looked mid against Allen. I don't think that was his best performance. I just can't ignore like how dominant this dude looks when he's on. So I'll put him as one of the best grapplers in the sport right now. But let's move on to the next tier, and we got Sean Brady, the man of the moment, the main event winner this weekend. I think his grappling is really fucking good. I think his grappling's phenomenal. He looked amazing against Leon. He looked great against Burns too. Like, picking up and just chucking around Gilbert Burns ain't easy to do. And not many people... Like, Bilal was able to get control time on Leon. He was able to get his back, I think, in the second and fourth. But, like, first, third, and fifth were close rounds. Leon won the third with... Like, Leon got the body triangle and controlled Bilal on the ground for all of round 3. And we're acting like it's crazy to say that Brady's a better grappler than Bilal. I think Bilal has the advantage on the feet a little bit, because his hands actually looked pretty solid against Leon, but... Brady's hands looked good against Leon too. Like, he won the first, right, and he did get a takedown. But most of the first was spent striking. Like, it wasn't the same as the second and third where he just took him down the whole time. He was looking alright with the hands. He was actually like landing on Leon. So I don't think it's like Bilal is not some elite striker. Like, we originally were like, oh, that's actually impressive how he was able to kind of tag up and piece up Leon a bit. But like, Brady did the same thing. And Leon's a guy who just gets pieced up with the hands if you can like back him up, right? But Brady looked great in the grappling again, like submitting Leon, first guy to do it, just like 10-8s in the second and third in my opinion. No judges scored a single 10-8 that fight, which was interesting, but clear. He was up in my opinion like 30-25 or 30-26 going into the fourth round, and then wins the fourth round easily, dominates him. So yeah, crazy impressive performance. Nobody does that to Leon Edwards. That impressively, best fighter, like best performance anyone's put up against Leon ever. And I really don't think it's crazy to say he beats Bilal in a rematch, or that. I'm sorry, bro. Bedtime is just like, you can tell he's gone into like cope overdrive, because he's still got some weird delusion that Brady would lose to JDM. Like, maybe he would get caught on the feet, but I really just don't see JDM winning that fight. Like, Bedtime's like saying, trust me, JDM beats Leon, he beats Brady. I think he would beat Leon, but like I was picking him against Leon. But also, like, you can't just be like confident that he would beat Brady after that fight, bro. Like, if they fought at 290, or if the JDM that fought Burns fights the Brady that just fought Leon, JDM's getting fucking subbed in like the second round. Like, let's just be honest with ourselves. Anyway, great performance from Brady. Let's move on, and I'm not trying to move through this quickly, but I yap too much. But yeah, let's move back down to the bottom tier. Molly McCann. I'm sorry, bro. Did somebody order a meatball sub? I saw that joke thrown around a few times. Molly McCan't defend a rear naked choke. Molly McCan't defend a double leg. Molly McCann, I get your order, please? Yeah, tough. Molly, it's a rough one. I don't want to try. I can't really do a female Scouse accent. It's like, fucking to all the girls out there, you can do what I do if you believe in yourself. Like, I don't know what she's saying, but like, telling girl, like, she's like, all the young girls, you can do what I do. You can get to the point where I'm at. It's like, yeah, you can believe in yourself and be a 7-7, 500 level bum in the UFC with like one career highlight. I'm sorry, bro, but yeah, Molly McCann's grappling time and time again. I wish I put more. I went awfully on the bets, as I mentioned in my postcard recap. There was some confident calls though that I should have loaded up more on. Like, I was very confident in Brady, I was pretty confident in Holland, and I was confident in Thainara by sub. And I didn't put enough on any of those. Like, I ended up putting fucking money on, way more money than I should have on Sharia, and he lost. Like, it was just rough work from me. Anyway, let's move on to the next fighter. Who we got next? We got Colby Covington. I'm putting him in fucking takedown spammer at this point. Like, prime Colby was probably a few tiers higher. But still, I've never rated Colby that much. Everyone's been on this train of like, man, if Usman didn't exist, Colby would be this long-reigning champion. And I'm just like, would he though? Would he? Or would he have like maybe got like 2 defenses and then lost to Leon, or lost to Bilal, or lost to Brady, or lost to anyone? I truly believe Colby, even prime Colby, like I'm talking the Colby that fought Lawler, still fucking lose, if that, or like the Colby that fought Woodley, still fucking loses to like pretty much everyone in the top 10 today. Like, Brady would whoop his ass, Bilal would beat him, Usman would beat him, Leon would beat him. I still think I still think Colby is just not that good. And I just don't think he's nearly as effective. He's not nearly as strong as Sean Brady. Doesn't have the same level of control, doesn't have the same level of submissions. It's more competitive than the fight was at 296, obviously, but that's one of his better. Like, I think Leon is one of his easier matchups, and he still looked shit. Like, I don't rate JDM's grappling that highly. I still think he can beat Colby, even a better version of Colby. Buckley would whoop his ass again, obviously. Even Prates, bro. I'm telling you, Prates would KO Colby Covington if they fought. But, like, I don't know. I've just never rated Colby's grappling that much. He's just a fucking crotch sniffer, dude. Anyway, Gilbert Burns moving up. Gilbert, I'm putting him above Colby. The difference is, like, Colby's got slightly better wrestling. I just rate Gilbert's jiu-jitsu and his, like, grappling off his back and his, like, overall ground game higher than Colby. Like, if you're on the ground with Gilbert Burns, you do have to be concerned in some aspect. Like, Burns is taking you back if you're JDM. Like, Burns is doing all this. He's looking alright. Like, he can threaten. You know, there's a reason Usman didn't shoot on Burns. Like, he kept it on the feet and was competitive for a couple rounds, right? But he didn't shoot on Burns. Burns is a guy who looks really good in the grappling. When he's on, he's on. Like, he's so, like, I know Magny's Magny, but like, he did just take down Magny and sub him in like 2 minutes. Like, that is pretty impressive. Like, I know it's Magny, but like, that's still, I rate that decently. But he's just got some holes in his game. His wrestling defense isn't phenomenal. It's good. And I rate the Hums Up performance because he did look good in the grappling there. But it's like, again, Brady, credit to Brady, because he's dominated Burns, who's a very good grappler, and he dominated Leon, who's a guy who doesn't really get just smoked in fights. So, Burns, I like him, but I just can't, like, he doesn't quite, like, if he had the wrestling, if he had, like, Sean Brady level wrestling with the jiu-jitsu, he'd be up there. Like, he'd be a force in the division, but he doesn't seem like he's able to, and his wrestling against JDM looked solid. But even his control wasn't that good. Like, he got the back at times. He was, like, kind of sniffing crotch a little bit there, but, like, even that fight wasn't crazy impressive to me. Anyway, let's move on to another fighter. Next up, we got Jailton Almeida. I think he is, like, the second best grappler at heavyweight. maybe third best behind Tom. Like, I think there's a real conversation to be had who's a better grappler, him or Aspinall. Because, like, Aspinall, we can't just definitively act like he's, like, this elite, like, he's good, he's very good, but, like, we can't act like this dude's just some phenom grappler. Like, he's beaten Volkov, which was impressive, but that was before Volkov became Swolkov and bulked up and, like, actually got some wrestling going. So yeah, I rate Almeida as a great grappler in this division. I think he's probably the most proven heavyweight grappler, like right now, just based on the fact that Jones hasn't really beaten anyone good, like good wrestling. Like if Jones goes out there and ragdolls Aspinall and beats him, he's literally like the best grappler in the sport to me, like, or like top 3, because that would just be crazily impressive to me. But Almeida, I think, is very good. Again, it is difficult to know because he's just like throwing around these fat boys like fucking Spivak, so like what is it? Spivak, Derek Lewis, Rosenstrike. Like, he's just beating a bunch of fat men. But the Blades fight was impressive. Like, tossing around Curtis Blades, who's actually a good wrestler, is impressive to me. Anyway, let's move on. Speak of John Jones. Look, maybe he proved me wrong. I'm still going to call him elite. I know there's probably some people that want him lower, to be honest. There's probably some people that want him higher. I don't know. I just think you got to say Jones is elite. I think he's probably fallen a step since the light heavyweight days, grappling-wise, striking-wise. Just overall, he's not quite as good. He's not quite as dominant. Like, he's still hitting those trips. He's still looking solid. But, like, we can't act like he's looking phenomenal in these fights. Like, cool, you beat Garn. Garn shat the bed and didn't do anything. He took Stipe to the third. Like, he took Stipe to the third and finished him with a spinning back kick to the body. Like, it's not even like he took down Stipe, beat him up on the ground, and still wasn't able to like get every single takedown on Stipe. So I don't know. Jones, like, he's a great grappler. I'll give him credit, but I can't call him like the best grappler in the sport. Anyway, let's move on. Alejandro Pantoja. I'm gonna like switch these around, all these positions. So don't consider this like to be ordered. But Pantoja, I rate Pantoja's grappling very highly. I'm just gonna give a flashback to Lucas Tracy. Did a Grapplers tier list, so go check that one out if you haven't already. It was a while ago, though. He's probably going to do an updated one in about 12 hours, so I'm going to beat him to it. But he had a grappling tier list. You know where he had Pantoja? He had him in the same tier as, I'll read out some of these names, Marcin Tybura, Anthony Smith, and I believe Dustin Poirier on the same tier as Pantoja. I'm pretty sure. And he had BSD in the A tier. So yeah, shout out to Lucas. Good stuff, mate. No, I like Lucas, but recency bias goes crazy for him. So, like, same with me at times, but like BSD is a sport-wide A tier grappler with Pantoja in effectively what would be like the C tier is kind of nuts. Anyway, I think Pantoja is really good. We saw it against Asakura, how quickly he jumped on the back, dominated him in the grappling there. He's dangerous still, like, jumping on, like, he has his moments where he looks a bit like lay and pray, but still, he's taken backs, he's passing guard, he's not just, like, half guard camping. I know Lucas pushed that narrative for a while, because he had one not barn burner fight with Royval, even though the first fight was crazy. He subbed him, took the back of Moreno several times. No one at flyweight is just dominating the grappling with this level, at this level, but Pantoja is, so I rate it. Anyway, let's move on to the next fighter. I'm yapping too much. Let's speed through some of these. Bogdan Gushkov. You're getting ragdolled and held down by Billy Elikana, debuting middleweight in your fourth fight. Awful grappling for Gushkov. Next up, Mateusz Gamrot. Some people ain't gonna like this because yes, I do think his wrestling is phenomenal, but grappling-wise, overall, this man has never looked threatening on the ground ever. He subs Jeremy Stevens. Jeremy Stevens' grappling is awful. But like, who's he looked good? Like, Diego Ferreira injured his rib or whatever, but like, he fails a lot of takedowns. He just spams takedowns, goes to close decisions. Like, I just can't rate Gamrot's overall wrestling tier list. I could do a wrestling tier list if you want a pure wrestling tier list. But grappling-wise, overall, this man just does not look threatening on the ground ever. Like, he's making RDA look competitive in there. Like, it's rough for Gamrot. Anyway, Borralho. Not Borralho, so that's later on. Ortega's solid, but again, he's got that hole in his game of just his wrestling isn't very good. He's got great jiu-jitsu, can't get it to the fucking ground, so it's tough for Brian Ortega. Belal Muhammad, I'll chuck him in the great grappler tier. Look, he is a bit takedown spammy at times, but look, he did dump Leon on his head. He does have great control. He's boring as fuck, but I'll give him credit. He does actually control. He's got like all the control, shit jiu-jitsu. I mean, at least he can take it back. He's a better grappler than Usman. Usman doesn't take it back to save his life. But Bilal, he just doesn't have that submission threat. He doesn't have that much ground and pound, so I can't put him too high up, but he's still a good grappler. Arman Sarkarian, great grappler, great elite grappler. I can't put him top 5 again just because the submissions. Like, I need you to be winning fights in all ways. You know what I mean? Like, I need you to be landing ground and pound, which he does, right? Wrestling is solid. Ground control is heavy on top. I just need submissions. Like, he really doesn't... Like, I know that's not everything. You can be still a great... Like, Khabib... I can't even say... No, Khabib got submission. So, like, I'm trying to think, like, who's a guy who's just elite grappler but doesn't really submit... Like, there are people like that. But even, like, these guys who usually lean towards just heavy ground and pound, heavy pressure are still able to get subs. And he just doesn't. So, Sarukian, if he can beat a Makachev or an Ilya or a Gaethje or an Oliveira in a rematch, like more definitively in the grappling, I can put him in the top 5. But right now, I think he's just on the fringe. Anyway, let's move on to the top tier. Next up, we got Charles do Bronx Oliveira. Oliveira, now some people I think some people have Oliveira as like the best, like the number 1 or 2 grappler. I have him number 3 just for the reason that he has been out grappled. Arman did kind of take him down. I still have him above Arman just because the submission threat is there. I think his jiu-jitsu is better, and I don't think the wrestling is like that much in favor of Arman. I think Arman's better control, better wrestler overall, but he needs the BJJ. But I'm going based off like who is just looks like the most dominant on the ground. Like who is, when they're fighting their opponents, who is just the most cooked when they're on the ground with them. I have to lean towards like there's 2 more people that just look a bit more cooked on the ground. Like, yes, guys like Islam have had like just kind of prolonged periods of control. Which is why like there is an argument there even with Islam and Oliveira, but just based off how that fight went, I know he dropped him before the submission, but like he took Oliveira down, sort of nullified him on the ground. I gotta put him above him for now. But anyway, let's move on. I still love Oliveira. Let's move on down to the bottom tier, and we've got who do we have here? Justin Gaethje. Look, his wrestling's decent. I gotta give him credit for the anti-wrestling can be solid. But once he's on the ground, this dude's a white belt. Like, this dude gets ragdolled, he gets submitted, he looks like he doesn't know what he's doing. I just don't rate the grappling of Gaethje that much. Ray Saruya, certified takedown spammer. I wanted to make like a defensive grapplers tier in this tier list, but it just would have kind of taken away from the other ones because it would have meant I had to load all the other people up into other tiers or not include them. But like, yeah, Josh Van is a great defensive grappler, but still, like, this dude did not even look like he was trying to like mix the martial arts. Like, it was pure Olympic style wrestling, just mat returning, like going for the same fucking shit over and over again. Just not very one-sided game. And again, the people in this tier aren't all the same. Like, if I have Gamrot in the same tier as Saruya, I'm not saying Saruya is a better grappler than Gamrot. I'm just kind of putting them here to sort of display that sort of style of their grappling. But anyway, let's move on to the next person. Next up, we've got Caio Borralho. Look, he hasn't shown it that much recently in the UFC. Like, he struck with Paul Craig, he struck with Cannonier. I mean, he dominated Cannonier on top once he rocked him, but his grappling's still good. He's got submission wins in the UFC, he's got grappling dominant performances, and that win over Brendan Allen in grappling was good too. Again, this is just like a vibe pick, to be honest. Like, Borralho, I rate him pretty highly. I think his grappling's good. We just don't see it because he's content to strike, but like, his base is grappling. Like, that's what he's good at. Anyway, let's move on. Next guy, we got Dricus du Plessis. Goofball grappling is what we call Dricus du Plessis. He's got the weirdest shit, but it works. He's very strong, but he has a submission threat, and he's strong on top. He's got takedowns. Is he the prettiest fighter to watch? No. We say this about his striking too, even though it's weirdly effective. But yeah, his takedowns solid. His ground control is solid. Strickland is usually pretty good at getting back up, so that explains the first fight. But he looked pretty dominant on top of Izzy when he got there. Subbed him in the 4th. He subbed or beat up Darren Till. He just looks strong there. goofball fight with Brunson, but still, like, he has moments of looking goofy as fuck. Like, kind of looked really dominant on top of Whittaker when he got there for about 40 seconds. So, I rate Dricus' grappling pretty fucking highly. Anyway, let's move on. Alexander Volkanovski. Lucas Tracy approved placement. I actually was contacted. He told me I had to put Volk at least in the second to top tier. Otherwise, he would be very upset with me. So, Volk, you're getting your elite grappler tier. Look, Volk, does he offensively grapple heaps? No. He did ragdoll Yair. He did do really well on top. Like, he doesn't, like, push grappling as a base in his fights most of the time. I wouldn't mind seeing him do it against Lopez just because I don't want to see him get chinned. But what is it with Volk? Like, he looked so good at, like, the grappling with Islam was very impressive. Grappling with Ortega, grappling with, like, Yair, who's a tricky submission guy off his back. Like, these are just impressive fights to me. Like, yeah, he kind of wall installed Aldo, but no one really takes down Aldo. Volk's grappling against people who, like, are historically good grapplers, or, like, his defensive work is great, and yeah, when he pushes takedowns, he's able, like, he's a legit black belt. Black belt? Who give him? I approve. Like, his black belt is actually valid, and he's actually a good grappler. Anyway, let's move on to the next fighter. Next up, black belt, who give him? We have to check this moment. Kangaroo, everybody knows Kangaroo have good striking, but nobody checked the grappling. This guy, 7 losses in his career. This is our champion. This makes me very upset. Islam Makhachev. Islam's a fucking phenomenal grappler, dude. What can I say? He's subbing black belts, bro. He's the black belt checker, you know. I know there was the Gracie killer, bro. This is Islam. He's the black belt checker. He's just checking all these black belts. Poirier, Moicano, Oliveira. He's subbing all these dudes, right? I just can't say he's not a top 2 grappler in this sport. I think there's 1 and 2. I don't think there's much of an argument. Like, if for a 3, you could put Oliveira in 1 and 2. But I think, obviously, you guys know who it is. Hamzat's the other guy. I'll talk about him in a second. But yeah, Islam and Hamzat, I think, are the best 2 grapplers in the sport right now. It's mostly just because guys don't always, like, they look cooked, but they don't look, like, Islam is not just running over everyone in a round and just, like, yeah, like, it's a rarity to actually look decent against this guy in the way. Like, you see everyone kind of look decent, apart from, like, Moik got ran over, Bobby Green got ran over, but, like, Dan Hooker, these are good wins, but, like, Poirier's surviving, Volk's surviving, like, it's not like he's just smoking everyone. Now, those guys are both very good, but, like, yeah, Oliveira, I think he's very good. I think he's beating higher level grapplers than Hamzat Chimaev is. So yeah, there is that. If you have him at number 1, I don't hate it. But I'm basically going off, like, round 1 grappling is, to me, like, who is the best grappler at their best. And to me, Hamzat just, like, exceeds him just a little bit. Anyway, let's move back down to the bottom tier. Next up, we got Tai Taco Bell Tuivasa, Planet Fitness extraordinaire. I cannot wait for Tai Tuivasa's next fight, like, fighting out of Planet Fitness. Fighting out of Planet Fitness in Western Sydney, Australia. Tai Taco Bell Tuivasa. Like, it's just rough scenes for Tai. Dude cannot defend takedowns to save his life. Looks absolutely lost. Derek Lewis was judo throwing this dude, bro. Derek Lewis hit an inside trip on this fat fuck. This guy is atrocious at grappling. Anyway, let's move on. Merab Dual. It is not Deshashashvili. It is Merab Dualishvili. I'm going to say that every time. Learn to read and speak English. This dude almost died dancing on the edge of a cliff for a fucking Twitter video and almost fell over. Merab is different, bro. But no, look, is his pure grapple, again, this is going to be a debatable thing, because some people are going to, like, act like there's no difference between Merab and Anthony Hernandez. I strongly disagree. Like, Merab, I love him. I actually enjoy Merab's fights. I don't think he's that boring. He really doesn't get much control. Like, he controlled O'Malley a bit, but, like, he basically had fuck all control against Umar. He really didn't control Yan for that long. He didn't control Cejudo for that long. Like, his control on top is not much, and his submission threat is non-existent. So, look, his pressure is good. If you're saying, like, I'm trying to think, like, wrestling, his pure wrestling is nice. I do like it, but again, his style isn't to try and be, like, a 100% effective grappler. His style isn't like, I gotta get this perfect double leg and get this hit this inside trip. Like, no, he just shoots for contact and then just keeps going and going. His goal isn't even to, like, get control. So it is difficult to rate him because, look, if Merab went out there with the goal of, like, slowing a fight down and trying to control, I think he could. But I don't know with Marab. It's interesting. Anyway, let's move on to the next fighter. Next up, Kamaru Usman. They can't even spell your name right. Honestly, Kamaru Usman's career is getting vicariously fraud-checked from the amount of people that are just dominating these fighters who he's beat. Like, Joaquin Buckley beat Colby better. I know it's not the best version of Colby. Guys are beating Gilbert Burns better. Actually, nah, to be fair, because he did finish Burns. But, like, grappling-wise, guys are not scared to grapple with Burns and having success with him. Guys are dominating Leon Edwards, who beat him twice. Like, I'm not saying Usman's, like, overrated. Like, in his prime, I think he was very good. But, like, am I wrong for saying Sean Brady is just a better version of Usman with jiu-jitsu and probably a bit of a worse chin and less power? Like, the same style of just pressure output boxing. I'm sick of people acting like Usman's striking is like that good. Like, he's just versing shit strikers. Like, he's versing mid-ass strikers. Like, Burns is alright. Burns is chinny. Usman just learned how to throw a jab, and then that was enough to beat Burns somehow. And he did KO Masvidal. Masvidal, I don't think is that good. And also, like, he caught him, cool. But it's like, no one's going to act like he's just like levels higher of a striker than Masvidal. But like, Colby, going back and forth with Colby on the feet is just kind of an awful look, to be honest. So yeah, Usman, but like grappling wise, the wrestling is good, it's pressure, but like, he never takes it back. He's never even fucking been close to a submission. And now he's getting out grappled at times. Like, Leon took him down, Hamzat was taking him down and shit. Like, if this guy fights Buckley, I think he just gets all of his takedowns stuffed and beaten up on the feet. Like, Usman, again, he's probably washed now, but still, even like the Usman that fought Colby in the rematch, why are we acting like Sean Brady doesn't beat that guy? Why are we acting like Joaquin Buckley doesn't beat that guy? Why are we acting like Bilal doesn't beat that guy? Like, I don't know. This is my opinion. Usman's just kind of a bit overrated, to be honest. Anyway, let's move on to the next fighter. Next up, Renato Money Moicano. I cannot afford to lose. Let me tell you something. This motherfucker left lane is degenerate gambler, my brother. Renato Moicano, look, just the performance against BSD is so impressive. Like, I'm not going to fault him too much for getting subbed by Islam. He got up, he made a mistake, he moved too quickly. Maybe I'm overrating him just off the BSD fight. But, like, even the Turner fight is still pretty solid. Like, I know Turner's kind of 1 foot in, 1 foot out. He's done now. But, like, I think that's when he said, like, after that fight is when he started contemplating retirement, Turner. So, like, Moicano made this dude want to hang it up, in my opinion. And then, yeah, the BSD fight is impressive. Because, like, okay, like, I know I laughed at Lucas for having BSD A tier. And, yes, it was a dumb take. But, like, Moicano ran over BSD and made him look atrocious on the ground. Like, made BSD look like his grappling was non-existent. Like, this dude who'd gone out there and just out-grappled and beat up Thiago Moises, subbed Bonfim, taken down Poirier for a round, and then Moicano just runs him over. So I do rate that performance. I think we're going to see Moik versus either Dariush or Gamrot next. And either one of those would really cement and prove how good his grappling is if he were to beat those two. Anyway, let's move on to the next fighter. Next up, Aljamain Sterling. Great jiu-jitsu, great wrestling. That Movzar fight really elevated him to me. Because like previously it's been like, okay, he's a bit of a backpack merchant. His takedowns aren't that good. He sort of just gets random inside trips and then like just controls you on the ground. But like, he took down Movzar, which is actually really fucking impressive. So I do really think Aljo is a great grappler. I think he's very, very good. Anyway, let's move on. Yair Rodriguez, dude, he's the rag. He's the wet rag Yair. His submissions are cool, right? But like, being able to throw up a triangle only takes you so far in my book. Anytime anyone gets on top of him, he just looks weak and frail and dominatable. Anyway, let's move on. We're speeding through some of these. Movzar Ivlev, brother, she was 17. She was 17 years, 364 days, brother. It is okay. Now, Movzar, though, yeah, he's a good grappler, right? But, like, again, there's not really any jiu-jitsu. He doesn't ever threaten subs. Like, Movzar has not once in his entire fucking career looked close to finishing a fight on the ground. And, yeah, like, I don't know, his wrestling's solid. But, like, there's an argument that he lost to Arnold Allen and, like, a slightly less argument that he lost. There's arguments, if you want to play the game, you can argue that he's lost to Lopez, Allen, and Aljo. I wouldn't make the argument with the Aljo or the Lopez fight, just because, but, like, one judge scored Lopez the first, one judge scored him the third. it's not ridiculous to say that he could have won both of those two with impact on the submissions. It just depends how much you value them. And there's precedent. Like, we've seen a judge score the third round to Oliveira. If you score the third round to Oliveira against Arman, it's not crazy to score the first and third to Lopez against Movsar. But even the Allen fight, I thought he won the first and third. I thought Allen won the first and third. And even the Aljo fight was really fucking close, and he got about 2 minutes of ground control, but again, Aljo just did not. Like, Aljo had about 3 minutes of ground control and just did absolutely nothing. So Movsar got about 2 minutes and landed about 5 shots. So that was enough. But he was like literally about a minute less of. If he got about a minute less of ground control, he's losing that fight. So I don't know. I just think the takedown, like, very takedown spammy, no submissions to speak of. Control is there to an extent, but like, yeah, still, I just can't say he's that well-rounded of a grappler. He's still very good, though. Anyway, let's move on to the next fighter. Next up, Diego Lopez. This is the difference that some people are going to hate, and I know some people are going to disagree and be like, Movsar out-grappled him. How are you going to say that? Yes, but also, short notice, 4 days notice, Lopez in his debut. Why are we acting like that fight looks the same now? I just disagree. Like, we've seen Movsar have competitive fights now, like back to back to back, with these like good jiu-jitsu, like good defensive grappling, and powerful, like, decent strikers, right? Like with Allen. Lopez better on the feet than, or not, maybe not as technical, but more powerful, more dangerous on the feet than Allen. But grappling wise, like, there's just submissions. Like, I have to consider submissions to an extent. Like, most effective grappler can be a different story, but like best grappler, you do have to be able to actually submit an opponent. Like, you do have to be able to, like, beat someone up on the ground. Which, yes, Movsar was doing in round 2 a little bit. But, like, I don't know. I just think Lopez, like, dominating Ortega on the ground when he was there, when he got him there. You know, subbing, fucking, what's the kid's name? Gavin Tucker. Okay, it's Gavin Tucker, but, like, and yeah, but I don't know, I just think it's good. Like, he did look good against Dan Ige in the grappling too, in the first and second. I don't know, it's just a vibe for me. I'm just going to put Lopez above him, it is what it is. Let's move on though to the next fighter. Next up, Zhang Weili, DEI women's inclusion here. You know, Weili though, I do like Weili. She's the only fucking female fighter that's interesting to me in any way. Her grappling is sick though, like, she dominated Tatiana Suarez everywhere. Like, that was a lot of grappling in that fight, and she won pretty much all of the exchanges. So very impressive stuff. Ilia Toro's up next. Now, look, Top Torio, this is kind of just like yeah, I'ma trust you, bro, because like have we really seen any of his grappling? Like, not really. Like, he took down Emmett in the 5th, and he subbed Mitchell after dropping him. But like, have we really seen this? And he did hit some cool throws on Zalal. Have we seen his grappling heaps? Not really. But it's kind of just like, I'm a trust you, bro. This dude started as a grappler. That was his base. He does have wrestling in his back pocket. He's got submissions clearly. Like, head and arm choking Bryce Mitchell, even if you hurt him on the feet first, is still very impressive to me. So, I'm going to just trust Ilia, and I'm going to say he's an elite grappler with no basis at all. Anyway, let's move on down to the bottom tier, and we have Chito Vera. This dude is just a ragdoll on the ground. I'm sorry, like, not like a ragdoll, but he's just very underwhelming. Like, bro, Corey Sandhagen 10-8'd you in the first. Like, you're getting dominated by anorexic Sandman Sandhagen. I love Sandhagen. Comment on one of my videos. But I just cannot rate Chito for, like, he gets taken down by Figgy pretty comfortably. Gets taken down pretty much by anyone he fights, really. His grappling defense just ain't that good. He's probably going to get humped by Bautista and taken down. So, I don't know. Chito Vera, to me, is just not that good at grappling. Anyway, let's move on. Magomed Ankalaev. Look, this is no knock on Ank. He's still a great fighter. And again, well-rounded. I'm going to do a most well-rounded tier list. Like a pound for pound, if it actually meant what pound for pound is supposed to mean. Because pound for pound has just turned into, like, basically a championship resume list. Like, it's basically just turned into, like, a body of work list as the champ. Like, who's got the best names on their resume in the last 5 years. Not like, because pound for pound is supposed to be, like, who's the best skill fighter pound for pound, right? Which, in that case, yeah, obviously guys like Ilya and Islam are still going to be 1 and 2. But, like, John Jones is not the pound-for-pound number 2 fighter in the world, bro. Like, but anyway, Magomed Ankalaev, if you're doing a skill list, he's up there. Like, a all-round list, he's up there. But just pure grappling, and he'll probably tell you himself, his grappling ain't that good. Like, it's good, but it's not, it's overrated as fuck. Like, I know he'll tell you that Pereira was greasing or whatever. Bro, you know how many fucking fighters we've heard accuse their opponents of greasing? Like, bro, Kelvin Cater got accused of greasing by Yusuf Salal. Like, you're gonna hear these accusations and be like, oh yeah, Pereira cheated, bro. Like, there's really, I'm seeing these tards, like Kenny Okoye and MMA Joey being like, wow, Pereira still cheated and still, like, there is no proof that he cheated. Pereira cheated and he still lost, bro. There's literally zero proof. It's just a fucking accusation from Ankalaev. Like, that's not evidence. Anyway, let's move on up to the next tier. Next up, we got Tatsudo Taira. Now, this tier is, again, a great grappler, but with flaws, because his jiu-jitsu is phenomenal. His ground control, I really want to see Taira fight again. It's been a bit too long. We need a Tatsuro Taira fight announcement soon. I hope we see him back in the cage, because he looked great on the ground against Royval, right? I think there was an element of, again, inexperience. Royval sort of put the mustard on him, you know, had a bit too much pressure for him, a little bit too much crafty vetness, you know. But when he was, like, this dude's still, like, so raw in his career, so inexperienced. He's, like, 24, right? And he looked phenomenal on the ground against Royval. Like, the rounds that he won, he was, like, he got rocked and almost finished and still almost ended up, like, taking the back and subbing Royval at the end of the third, I believe, from memory. But, like, his rounds of winning, I think, were the second and fourth, I want to say. Or maybe it was the first and third. I think it was because it was 2-2 going into the fifth. And he ended up losing, but still, his ground control is amazing. He's so tricky, like, with what he did with Perez, but, like, he just needs that wrestling. His takedowns just looked a bit too, like, can we give this guy Saruya's wrestling, but then with his control time? But, like, no, can we give this guy, like, any level of, like, give this dude Evloev wrestling or something, or, like, God forbid, give this man Hamzat Chimaev's, double leg. He's killing the flyweight dude, like, he's running over everyone, because on the ground, this dude is, like, retarded, like, you cannot get this guy off you. Royval looked just unable to fucking move with this dude on top. So very, very impressive performance. Anyway, let's move on to the next fighter. Next up, we got Umar Nurmagomedov. Look, the performance against Merab, his grappling is still very good, right? And he was able to take down Merab. He was able to take down and dominate Sandhagen, so I give him credit. And I do think his overall, like, technical grappling is better than Merab. He actually controls people. He can take a back. You know, he does all this stuff. Again, like, he's a better striker than Merab. He's a better grappler than Merab. And he lost. And I'm so still mad at myself for not picking Merab, because when that fight was announced, go back and rewatch my reaction video to the fight announcements, I literally said, Umar's better than him everywhere. That being said, Merab via 48-47 cardio max. And I said that. And then I fucking got baited into this Dagestani hype and, like, just changed my pick for whatever reason. I was pissed off, but still, I was happy that Merab won. Again, Umar's better than him everywhere except for cardio and, like, pressure. But yeah, no, I still think his grappling is very, very good. Anyway, let's move. He looked great. Again, like, Beksat's a midget, but, like, he did look really good against Beksat. He looked great against Sandhagen. His grappling is very good. Let's move on, though, to the next fighter. Next up, we got Grant Dawson, the missing link, as I believe Lucas Tracy calls him. But I still think this guy's really good. I think his grappling is great. I think this dude is, like, the midget, like, undersized, like, mum, can we have Sean Brady? No, we have Sean Brady at home. Sean Brady at home. Like, that's Grant Dawson, in my opinion. Very similar sort of archetype, like, just white, American, heavy pressure grappler. He's way more lay-in prey than Brady, I would say. But on top, like, you don't really see many people, like, looking good against this guy. Like, Diego Ferreira is a really good fucking fighter, and he still made relatively easy work of him. I'm searching up Grant Dawson right now. Jamie, pull up Grant Dawson. Again, like, the KO to Bobby Green loss, that's not even a fucking thing. Like, that's just a fluke on his record. But, like, dominating Demir is impressive to me. He's 23-2. 6 takedowns on Diego Ferreira is pretty impressive to me. 10 minutes 50 of control time. Like, Diego Ferreira is a crafty guy, great grappler. Like, beat up Rebecki, and he's winning pretty clearly 30-27s across the board. I thought it could have been 29-28, but still. And then before that, absolutely dominated Rafa Garcia, 44-5 on significant strikes, 5 minutes 9 seconds of control time in about a 7-minute fight. His grappling is impressive as fuck. Like the Joe Solecki fight wasn't very fun, but still, 13 minutes 46 seconds of control time in 15 minutes. There was 1 minute and 14 that wasn't control time for Grant Dawson. Like crazy. His grappling pressure is very impressive. Demir fight, how much? 12 minutes 24 of control time. Like crazy stuff. I still think he's very, very good. I think Grant Dawson is still elite. Anyway, let's move on to the last fighter and the top tier best grappler in the sport right now, in my opinion. Khamzat Chimaev. Some people disagree. I'm not saying it's a brain dead take. I'll probably put up a poll. I'll say, who do you guys think is the best grappler in the sport right now? But I just think Khamzat, to me, it's like round one, when he's fresh, when they're both at their best, who is looking like the most dominant fucking individual ever? It's Khamzat, bro. Like, running over Whittaker in a round is just too crazy impressive for me to not put him number one. Now, yes, Whittaker does look kind of mid at times and he gets run over. Like, he's susceptible to getting kind of done out early. But, still, ragdolling Usman in the first, it's just too good. Like, his wrestling's great. His control is, dude, you don't see many people getting up from this guy. Apart from a mid-fight, not mid, fun-wise, but just, a mid-performance against Burns, he's just smoking everyone. And, yes, I know the Usman fight ended up being mid in the second and third, but, again, I'm talking round one. He's at his best when he's at his most dangerous. No one is surviving against this dude. No one is winning the first. If you win a first round against Khamzat, fair play to you. Knowing Drickus, he's probably going to go out there and single ankle trip, collar snap down fucking ankle pick. He's going to ankle pick Khamzat Chimaev into a guillotine. That's what will happen. But no, I just think Khamzat's too good, bro. Is there an argument Islam's a better grappler? If you want to consider who would win in a 5-round grappling match if it makes it 5 rounds? Yes, Khamzat kind of drops off there because he isn't quite as effective, but still, his wrestling is retarded, his takedown's great, control's great, his mat returns are sick, he's chain wrestling, all of the above, submissions. I just can't think of anyone who is a better grappler in round one than Khamzat Chimaev. Anyway, that'll do it, guys. There you go. I'll shift it around. That's the adjustments. I'm not going to read all of them out. But to me, that is my order. Not concrete, but that is my rough order of the best and worst grapplers. Again, there's a bunch of guys I could have included. This is not featuring every single fucking fighter on the roster because I yap for enough as long as this is a 50-minute video, basically. And I've only had 40 fighters. So if I did more, God forbid, it would have been talking for over an hour. Anyway, that'll do it, guys. I got more videos coming soon. I've got some ideas pumping. I got the athleticism merchants tier list. I can do that. There was another video I was thinking about before, which I forgot now. So someone, if you remember what I said, remind me. But yeah, drop some more video ideas you guys want to see in the comments. Picks have been washed recently, but all good. We'll rebound for Mexico. And yeah, anyway, goodbye, guys. See you in the next one. Au revoir.